God made many mistakes when he made all of us. More so you, but... All right. Real talk. Let's talk about gay shit. We love gay shit. We love our gay peoples. I love all of the gay people over here in the chat. Hello, gay people. But I'll tell you who doesn't like gay people, and that is our government, right? Our beautiful conservative government. Now, I know this is not related directly to the Don't Say Gay bill, but I want to also bring attention to this lovely post because I thought it was loosely relevant and also funny. A massive portion of transphobes' favorite activity is writing a fan fiction and fervently endorsing it. The reason I'm bringing this up is because there's also a bunch of anti-trans bills going on, and it is absolutely insane how many there are. I think there's like over 200 of them now, anti-trans and anti-LGBT in general bills, and it's really gross. And I've just taken to just blocking TERFs on Twitter because it is not worth losing a second Twitter account. I mean, if I were to have a second Twitter account, of course, which I don't. So Charlie Kirk posted this: America, meet your top collegiate female man swimmer, national champion, Leah the Cheat Thomas. Because as we all know, trans women only transition so that they can cheat in sports, right? This is a beautiful post that I thought was great. All the female swimmers in the race need to stand on their blocks when the race starts and don't budge an inch, turning their backs to the pool until Thomas finishes alone, the lone swimmer winning the race, but beating no one. This sends the message. It's so powerful. Oh, it's so powerful. Totally agree, 100%. And then everybody clapped. It was really cool and fun. And they made a statement, you know? They really did say, it is a T-girl fanfic, is it not? Like, they just love their fucking fanfics, dude. Like, and I know this as a former conservative, okay? I've said this before. Conservatives love making scenarios up in their head and making themselves the hero of that scenario, okay? Something I still do, by the way, but not in a not in a way that's like bigoted against these, you know, against people who are below me on the social hierarchy as far as like acceptability goes. You know what I mean? Like I don't punch down, if you will. That's what I'm trying to get at. So conservatives just have this idea that like gay and trans people are like these big evil motherfuckers who want to come after your kids, who want to come after women, and they want to wreck the fabric of American society. They're bad people, right? And it's really odd because I don't really hear very much about. I don't hear much about like gay people coming after children unless they're like Catholic priests, you know, like that's the only demographic. And even then it's not like they're gay. Like it just so happens that the little boys are what are the most accessible to them, you know? So like they would easily do the same thing. It has been proven, by the way, that pedophiles do not fucking care what gender or what sex the child that they are molesting is. Okay. They don't care because ultimately children don't have sexually distinct features other than their genitals, right? That's it. Other than that, they're a blank slate. So it is very strange that like they're accusing gay people of being pedophiles. They're accusing trans people of not only being pedophiles, but also being like women haters. The whole thing is so stupid. So I wanted to, this is a 30-minute video. I don't know that we'll watch all of it, but I might speed it up a little bit because this is Governor DeSantis signing the Don't Say Gay bill into law. Awesome, dude. If you don't know what that is, this is a real law that basically states you cannot, the bottom line of it is you cannot teach gender or sex-oriented materials, sexuality, I should say, oriented materials in the classroom that are not age appropriate, right? It is extraordinarily vague wording, and that's on purpose. That's by design. Because the idea here is to have a chilling effect on teachers so that they're scared that if they say anything about sexuality or about gender, that they're at risk of getting sued, you know? It's intended to scare them, even if in the fine print of the law, it doesn't state that you literally cannot say the word gay. Because sometimes that's all it takes for a parent to get outraged. That's certainly all it would have took for my parents to get outraged. I know that for a fucking fact, okay? Way back when I was a wee lad, in a public school, if I come home and said, Mommy, Daddy, I learned that sometimes boys like other boys and girls like other girls, and they get married and they can have kids too, and that's okay, and I think that's cool. And then my parents would have been like, oh, Alec, no! And then they would have like run to this, like they would have just like jumped out the door and run to the fucking school, and then Falco punched the the teachers in the face. You know, like that's the kind of reaction that parents tend to have when they're like super conservative, super religious. Anytime like the word gay is said, you know, all you have to do is say the word gay and they'll be like, well, I just don't want you shoving it down my throat. Is that so much to ask? Why are you shoving it down my throat? And it's like, bruh, I ain't shoving it down your throat yet, but I'm about to. Okay. Anyway, all of this is to say, this bill is intended to scare people, scare teachers particularly, into suppressing the existence of gay and trans people and people who don't identify as the gender they were assigned at birth, right? Very icky, no good. Very icky, no good. I stole that from a TikTok. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll see how long we can suffer through this together, okay?
Afternoon to the new audience joining us on WFLA's Facebook page, live on WFLA.com, WFLA's app. Here's Governor Ron DeSantis in Spring Hill, Florida.
It's great to be at
The only thing I want to wreck is conservative dad's holes. It's a weird taste you got. I would be the one to stop the school shooter. Yes, exactly.
Classical Preparatory School, so I want to thank them for hosting us. And we've got an all-star cast.
Yeah, Guitar Rocker, I read that about her.
We have Richard Corcoran, Commissioner of Education, who many people around here know. We also have January Littlejohn, who's a parent from Leon County, who's going to speak. Aaron Lovely, who's also...
Wait, January Littlejohn? That's his name? Wait.
We also have January Littlejohn, who's a parent...
Wait, that's their... January Littlejohn? Wait, that's their... Is that a woman or a man? Like, wait, that's their name? Oh, that sounds like a fucking Santa elf. Okay.
Parent from Leon County who's going to speak. Aaron Lovely, who's also a parent from Palm Beach County, and she's going to speak. We have our
Aaron Lovely
Sprouse from nearby. We have Senators Kelly Sargent and Dennis Baxley, so I want to thank them for coming.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Wait, you guys remember... Here, hold on. Do you guys remember this DeSantis clip? Yes, we all know how good he is with the kids, okay?
Mask. I mean, please take it off.
We all know how much he loves kids.
Not doing anything, and we got to stop with this CODIS theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
God, what an insufferable douchebag, dude.
All right, well, it's good to be at USF.
Yeah, I bet you feel like a real big man. God damn, dude. I fucking hate this guy.
Representative Joe Harding. We have Representative and
Should Floridians have human rights?
We have Representatives Byrd.
This is disgusting, by the way. I know I keep pausing. I'm going to stop in a sec, but this is disgusting. They just straight up have kids here as props, okay? These kids probably don't even fucking know what they're there for. They don't want to be. Like, look at the dead-ass stare in this kid's eyes. This kid does not want to be here. This kid, like, wants to go home and fucking play Fortnite, okay? Let the kid play Fortnite. Jesus Christ.
Beltran Grawl.
Hello, Lump God. Welcome.
And last but not least, we have Senator Danny Burgess. So I want to thank all of them for coming here with us. So, as many of you know, I think the last couple years have really revealed to parents that they are being ignored increasingly across our country when it comes to their kids' education.
Yep.
We have seen curriculum embedded for very, very young children, classroom materials about sexuality and woke gender ideology. We've seen libraries that have clearly inappropriate pornographic materials for very young kids. And we've seen...
Wait, where? Where's the pornographic material? Hold up. I would have to see this. And I'm not trying to joke when I say that. I literally would have to see what he's talking about when he says pornographic materials for children. I don't know what he means.
That were given to students without the consent or even knowledge of their parents across the country. And unfortunately, that's happened here in the state of Florida. You're going to hear from some parents where that has happened. Now, in Florida, we found at least 6 school districts that have policies.
First of all, they teach things that are against the parents' consent all the time, okay? Like... Consent is implied when you send your kid to public school. I'm sorry.
To cut parents out of decisions regarding their child's well-being.
Human biology textbooks.
About various forms of mental health.
Would not shock me.
Broward, Hillsborough, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach, Sarasota, and Volusia counties. Martin County also had a gender transition plan that can be implemented without the parents' consent. In Leon
Sick.
County, Florida, a school excluded parents from conversations about a student's, quote, gender transition, a situation for which the district superintendent has apologized for and admit that should never have occurred.
Wait,
And
what
it's
should
not
never
just
have
limited to
occurred?
Florida. In fact, it's probably a lot
Oh fuck! I keep hitting the. Sorry, I keep
worse than
moving
many
the.
other. In Leon County, Florida, a school excluded parents from conversations about a student's, quote, gender transition, a situation for which the district superintendent.
Wait, a student's gender transition? A student? And they excluded like other parents?
Conversations about a
Excluded parents from conversations
Students,
about.
quote,
Yeah, he's not specifying that like it's their own kid. Yeah, if it's like one kid, then yeah, I'm going to fucking exclude other parents from that too. That's not their goddamn
gender
business.
transition, a situation for
Weird
which the
ass
district
fucking
superintendent has apologized
goddamn
for and admit
Republicans,
that
dude.
should never have occurred. And it's not just limited to Florida. In fact, it's probably a lot worse in many other parts of the country. In Idaho, a counselor was working with a 10-year-old student to help the student transition to a different gender without
Based.
informing the child's parents. In California,
Based.
a mother has filed a legal case
That teacher's a hero.
alleging 2 middle school teachers manipulated her child's identity, then called the meeting to inform her, the parent, that the student is transgender. And in California, a high school student recently committed
Wait, they called to inform the parent. That's what you want, right? These people are insufferable.
suicide after an LA high school gave her gender transitioning hormones rather than treat her underlying depression.
Hold up. Hold up. No, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. And if that is what happened, like as he said it, then he's leaving out a crucial element, and that is probably the fact that they were not being accepted by their peers or their parents.
And so we've also
Which
found
many,
cases
many
where school
studies
districts and individual
support.
Schools took it upon themselves to decide it's okay to sexualize the education of very young children. We've actually had
What does that
different,
mean?
things, and this is not something
What does
that I
it
thought was something
mean?
that was going to be around. So this is something that is in Florida and other places, school for very young kids, the genderbread man.
I saw this. Ah! Dude, this is beautiful. The genderbread by the way, he's misgendering him, so canceled for that. The genderbread person. Ah, yes. What? It's destroying our children's minds. Look at how scary it is. Dude, it's so funny. It's so fun. They're so triggered. It's great.
So this is trying to sow doubt about kids, about their gender identity. It's trying to say that, they could be whatever they want to be. This is inappropriate for kindergartners and first graders and second graders. Parents
Why is
do
it?
not want this going
But
on.
why is it so bad? I just don't get. Like, all you're doing is telling your kids, "Hey, did you know that regardless of how you were assigned at birth, you can be a girl if you want, you can be a boy if you want, you can be neither or both." And then the kids are like, "Okay." And then they go back to sucking on their fucking juice boxes and pissing themselves. Like, that's all that happens.
In their schools. What else do we have? Oh,
Whoa. My man came in hot. Look at that.
do we have? Oh,
Dude, that was a pretty good save. Wait. One more time. On the replay.
schools. What else do we have?
Wait. Slow this down. Check this out. Look at his form. And he's going in for the save. Boom, baby. Dude, that's some fucking gamer reactions. My man's a gamer, okay? Excellent stuff. Is conservative pussy a guilty
Again,
pleasure
very
for
young
you?
kids talking about when
I mean, if a conservative girl were like down to do the dirty, then sure, I'd do it. I don't care.
I was born, mom and dad said it's a girl, looked in the mirror, I saw a girl,
I mean,
kind of.
if she thick.
Now I see a boy who has a transgender. So this is something that you're putting into classroom curriculum.
What does it say? Hold up, girl. Wait. This is again a very young kid's talking about when.
I was born, mom and dad said it's a girl, looked in the mirror, I saw a girl, kind of. Now I see a boy who has a transgender. So this is something that you're putting into classroom curriculum
Yeah.
for 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Again, that is not something that's appropriate.
Why not?
For any place, but certainly in the state of Florida.
Oh, dude, they were fighting over it. Look, my gamer guy.
And again, that is not something that's appropriate.
Look. He reached. He's like itching for it. He's like, give me the fucking sign. Like he's gonna hang that up in his goddamn house. Like he really wants that transgender sign. But then this person's like, no, it's mine.
For any
Look at him.
but certainly in the state of Florida. And shouldn't
Funny.
parents know if that is something that's in the curriculum? They should be able to have a voice in that. And so this is not just in
Pussy got
Florida.
Alec
Again,
pledging
many other
allegiance.
states, it's even more aggressive. In Connecticut, kindergarten students are taught about
That
being
is true, Hunger
transgender
Master.
as part of, quote, social
Hello,
justice
Seductive Seaweed.
standards.
Go follow
In
Seductive
Denver,
Seaweed if you're not.
kindergartners were subject
Very,
to, quote,
very,
gender
very good guy.
sensitivity training. And in Illinois, they require sex
Doing a lot of
education
fundraising lately.
beginning in kindergarten. So this is part of a national trend to
Okay. There should be some sex education that takes place in kindergarten. There should be. We should teach our kindergartners and children in general what it means to be assaulted sexually. Okay, we don't have to get into specifics. All we have to do is be like, look, there are adults, there are weird people who want to touch you in weird places. You have to understand no means no. This is wrong. And if any adult tries to do this, right, to grab you in a place where you did not tell them that you could they could grab you, it is so important for you to go find somebody and tell them. Like, they will try to tell you to keep it a secret so that they don't get in trouble. It is a very bad thing for them to do, and it is not good for you. Please, that's it. That's all they need. There's nothing wrong with teaching our children that. But, there is something wrong to the conservatives because they're actually the ones out here doing all the molesting of children. So
cut parents out of their child's education. In Florida, we not only know that parents have a right to be involved, we insist that parents have a right to be involved.
Nah, fuck that. You know what we should do? When your children become of school age, grab the parents and throw them in jail. Throw them in jail for the next 12 years. Cause no. What is it? 14 years? They start school at 4 or 5, right? Just chuck them in jail. Leave them there. Don't let them have any contact with the children at all. And then when the children are 18, then they can see their parents again and they can be like, look, this is what I learned in school. And I'm not saying to do this with every parent, only the ones that were born before 1980. Okay. Those are the parents that we need to keep away from their children. Yeah, Roy Moore and Matt Gaetz for sure.
And so we've already taken great steps. Last year, I signed the Parents' Bill of Rights in the state of Florida, which was really something that was significant.
Wait, the what Bill of Rights? The Parents' Bill of Rights? Okay.
Parents' Bill of Rights in the state of Florida.
Goddamn
which was
civil
really
rights for
something
parents.
That was
Okay.
significant. Last week, we signed curriculum transparency legislation so that parents have a right to access the curriculum that's in their kids' schools as well as understand.
Listen, I know I already touched on this, but the kids standing here like this, just holding the goddamn signs and not even being allowed to get a word in or anything. This is perfect. This is perfect. A perfect representation of what children mean to these ghouls. These children are literally just props for these people. They're like goddamn limbs, okay? It's like an extra finger to these parents, and they think that you're breaking that finger by telling your kids that they can be a girl if they want to. Their gender is fluid. They can make choices for themselves and their lives. They can protect themselves from sexual predators. And the parents see this as a personal attack on them, because to them, the child is nothing more than a vessel through which they can put a piece of themselves and live vicariously. That's what it means to be a conservative parent and to support bills like this. That's all they care about. It's really, really weird.
What type of books are in school libraries. And today we will sign HB 1557,
Exactly, Alex.
the Parents' Rights in Education Bill. And this bill takes 3 main steps. First, the bill
Guitar.
prohibits
Listen.
classroom
No. Conservatives actually think that if you're married, you can't sexually assault your partner. They think that. So if you're a 40-year-old dude, who lives in a trailer somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and you want to marry your 12-year-old cousin, well, as long as you're married, you can't technically sexually assault them, right? So, hey, there you go.
About sexuality or things like transgender in K through 3 classrooms, and after 3rd grade, those curriculums need to be age appropriate. Second, the bill ensures that at the beginning of every school year, parents will be notified about health care services offered at the school with the right to decline any service offered.
Dude, that's so fucking scary. Okay, what if I don't want my child to be screened for disorders, or screened for fucking cancer? I'm not saying that the schools are going out and offering this, but at the same time, it's this sets in place a very dangerous precedent, oh, okay, parents can just like decline any health related service that they want for their kids. Okay. I honestly truly believe that anti-vax parents are like child abusers. Like that is a form of child abuse to not protect your child in a medical sense from the outside forces of the world. Like I really do believe that.
And finally, this bill ensures that whenever a questionnaire or health screening is given to our young students, parents receive it first and give permission for the school to give it to their child. Now, there's been a lot of discussions about this particular piece of legislation. You've seen a lot of sloganeering and fake narratives by leftist politicians, by activists, by corporate media, and you still see it even today after a lot of this stuff has been debunked. Now, it's true. Many of the people who helped whip this up have never actually read the bill.
Debunked by who? Wait, show me the papers. Wait, show me the research. They never have the papers. It's like, okay, it was debunked by who and how and when and through what methods.
They haven't taken the time to do that. They would rather
they can never produce it.
Narratives.
They don't have receipts.
But I must tell you, these leftist politicians, corporate media outlets, some of these activist groups, they actually
Hunger Master, no!
And they're sloganeering because they don't want to admit that they support a lot of the things that we're providing protection
against. That's the worst, man.
For example, they support sexualizing kids in kindergarten.
How?
They support injecting gender.
No. How? Wait, how? You have to say how. You have to give an example. God damn, dude.
To second grade classrooms. They support enabling schools to, quote, transition students to a, quote, different gender without the knowledge of the parent, much less without the parent's consent. And so
this is straight up just like, you don't even get on hormone blockers until you're fucking 12 years old or like 10 years old at the, like, what is it, like 8 at the earliest? I know I keep going down. I think it's like 8 at the earliest for girls. Like girls go through puberty first at like 8 years old. So that's when you would get on hormone blockers. But before that, it's like the only thing that you're doing is socially transitioning. And all that means is that if you were assigned male at birth, maybe you wear a dress to school. Maybe you talk with a little bit of a higher voice. Who knows? What does it mean to transition for these kids? That's up to the fucking kids, dude. Let these kids explore their own bodies. Give them jurisdiction over the course of their own lives. For fuck's sake, dude. It's not that hard. It is free. It's free to allow your child to be themselves. It's free. And it's way lower effort than beating it into them that they're not allowed to do that. Way lower effort.
What they're doing with
these
jot
that one
narratives is they are trying to camouflage.
Also, go follow Squiddedeer.
They know in every single poll that's been done that actually reads the language in the bill will find overwhelmingly Americans oppose injecting this type of material into the classroom of young kids. Americans support the right of parents to be informed and to be able to withhold consent for certain types of medical treatments in school. So they know that. And so that's why they're resorting to some of the narratives. And it hasn't worked. But let's just be clear. It's not just all of them have not read the bill. Many have not. Many have. And many want to see this type of stuff in our schools. So be very.
You don't have to like read the fine print of the bill to know its content, first of all. Second of all, I have heard from sources that I trust and that are trustworthy sources in general, you know, by national and international sometimes standards, to summarize it for me. I don't have to sit there and skim through this boring ass fucking bill to know what's in it.
When you see that, and someone told me that there's even people in Hollywood that are opposed, to providing protections for parents and enforcing parents' rights. The one thing I'll say about that is, if the people who held up degenerates like Harvey Weinstein up as exemplars and as heroes and as all that, if those are the types of people that are opposing us on parents' rights, I wear that like a badge of honor.
Yeah, we know. It's kind of gross, actually.
And so we will continue to recognize that in the state of Florida, parents have a fundamental role in the education, health care, and well-being of their children. We will not move from that. I don't care what corporate media outlets say. I don't care what Hollywood says. I don't care what big.
I don't care what science says. I don't care what every single medical institution says. I don't even care what those kids say, because I don't care about those kids. All I care about is having the right to tell my kids to do whatever the fuck I want them to do, and that's it.
Say, here I stand. I'm not backing down.
What the fuck happened? Oh, God.
We will make sure that parents can send their kids to school.
There was a distortion in time, in space-time.
In indoctrination. And so I'm happy to be here today. We'll sign this in a minute, but in the meantime, we're going to have some speakers come up. And so the first speaker will be the Speaker of the House, Chris Sprowls.
Oh.
Thank you, Governor. It's great to be with you and all the members of the legislature that are here today. You know,
Look, fellas, if your hairline is at this point, and mine is worse, it's time to cut it off.
there's a lot of nicknames when you have governors. This governor has worked on education policy.
I speak
worked
from
on
personal
workforce,
experience.
So much policy in the state of Florida, but I'm going to add another nickname. This is the boldest governor in America for Florida families, for Florida parents, and for Florida children.
Squid, you're talking to a former conservative. I had a Glenn Beck book at the age, the tender young age of 12. Okay, yes, they probably do like internalize this. I mean, children are smarter than we give them credit for. I know I was ripping on them earlier about them pissing themselves and whatever, but children are very smart creatures. Okay, they are. They will suck it in like a goddamn vacuum cleaner and just become like Kirby. They're like Kirby. They'll suck it in and become whatever you want them to be. You know, they won't like it all the time. You know, but they do. It was easy for me because I'm like mostly straight, cis, white, male, and I'm comfortable with my gender, whatever. So it was easy for me. Like it didn't affect my, and that's why you see so many dudes like DeSantis who are comfortable in their gender identity, who, you know, come from an affluent background or at least a middle class background, who support shit like this, you know. And I could have easily gone down that same rabbit hole, and in another dimension, I believe that I probably did. You know, I am a very impressionable person, and it's only by the grace of God that I was gifted a twin sister who led me down the right path. Like, that's it. And now I'm just trying to pass it forward. Okay. So these children really absolutely internalize this.
And I want you to think about
Oh,
that for a second,
no,
because
I
think all of
simp.
this fits together.
Sounds like something
You know,
my brother
a year
would
and a half
do.
ago, when the rest of the country was shutting down schools, refusing to allow teachers
I
back
gotta
into the classroom to
watch
educate
that.
children, refusing to allow children to get back to education, this governor, Commissioner Corcoran, made sure that our kids not only got back in the classroom to learn.
We'll
but
watch
made
that
sure
next. What do you guys
before
think?
that this
I think
governor
that's a good
signed,
idea.
Aaron Grawl, Representative Grawl's bill on the Parents' Bill of Rights to make sure parents knew these are the rights that you have as a parent. You don't give away your rights at the front door of the school.
Listen to the rhetoric. They don't even try to hide it. It's only about the parents.
And that continued into this session. This is the session of Florida parents, of Florida
See?
families. You know, one of the upsides of
No,
COVID is that
don't say
I think
families.
ever before in our country have parents been more engaged in what their kids are learning inside the classroom and more sensitive to the books that are in the library, to the instruction that's happening and how that impacts.
This isn't about
their
the fucking families. This is about the parents. Okay, get that straight.
children. This session with this bill, I have to give a big shout out to Representative Joe Harding, Senator Baxley, who all session long took the
That's what I'm
hits
saying, man.
and
Just
the
lock 'em up.
lies perpetrated in places like corporate media and Twitter.
Throw 'em in the
pushed back
fucking
because they
dungeon.
had one goal in mind, and that was to prevent little children, 5- and 6-year-olds, from walking into a classroom and being indoctrinated on radical concepts like extreme gender ideology. So I want to thank both of you.
Extreme gender ideology. Wicked. Yeah, trans people on skateboards. Let's go. Doing kickflips and ollies and shit. Hell yeah, dude. I'm down. I'm 100% down. What was it? What radical gender ideology? Let's go. I'm ready.
You gentlemen for fighting the fight. But I think the governor's right. Like the fight is clear. Think about that. And I
Sounds
said
like a
this
new
100 times
age,
during the course
like,
of the legislative
rock
session.
band.
The language in this bill is 4 pages long. It's double spaced. The changes are underlined, right? If the teachers who had their kids redraft, you know, concepts that are here said, "Oh gosh, it's gonna be double spaced and underlined," that's gonna make the day really easy. This was super easy.
Is that
to
true?
figure out.
I don't even know how long the bill is. So
And yet, people lied about it. The media lied about it. Advocates lied about it. Whether it was in the White House press room or whether it was last night at the Oscars, there were lies about it. And the governor's right, they were intentional. Very few people tried to actually tell individuals what the bill did. I'm going to give Evan Donovan a shout out.
there's only one thing that happened last night at the Oscars, and we all know what that
Out
is.
here because you did. You did a news and you said this is what this bill does. Here's a graphic. Here are the bullet points. You didn't try to add personal commentary.
Strim boy. It is
You
the
just said
Strim
you
boy.
decide.
Hello,
But
Eden.
here's why people don't
Eden
do
is
that.
also a Strim
Because
boy.
if
Go
you
follow
tell
Eternal
Americans,
Eden.
You get to decide. Do you think it is appropriate for kids to walk into a classroom when they are? I have a 5- and 6-year-old, by the way. When they are 5 and 6 years old, to learn about transgender instead
My guy, don't admit that.
of math or science or photosynthesis or whatever it is for that day. Do you think that's appropriate? Maybe photosynthesis is a little intense for 5-year-olds. I hear Corcoran murmuring behind me.
Wait, what?
But the reality is they would say that's crazy. Of course we wouldn't do that. And what have we seen?
Wait. Photosynthesis is not extreme for 5-year-olds. Literally all you have to tell them is like plants take sunlight and make food from it. And then they're like, what? How do they do that? And then you can explain, well, the sun gives you lots of energy. And you actually get some of it too when you go outside. And that's why you get sunburns, because sometimes you get too much of it. And they're like, whoa. Like, I mean, they're not that dumb, dude.
There have been outlets, conservative
Can I
outlets,
eat the sun
liberal
food?
outlets,
You
moderate
can eat
outlets
the
who
sun
release
food.
polls. Republicans, Democrats, and independents all agree that parents should play an active role in these concepts. I couldn't be more proud of the individual.
It's just that we only
behind us.
use it for
I am so
vitamin D
grateful.
synthesis.
I am so grateful that we have a governor in Ron DeSantis who is willing to say,
Yeah, I don't
"I'm
know,
willing to
Isim.
push
I
back
really
against
don't. I was in a pretty progressive school, and like the farthest we ever went was that, oh yeah, no. And granted, this was a while back, right? But like the farthest, and I only did it till 8th grade. But the farthest we ever went with it was like, gay people exist. All right. I heard the term gay in 6th grade from people who were calling me gay as an insult, and I didn't even know what it meant yet. I didn't know what that term meant yet. I had to ask them, like, what's gay? I don't know what that means. And or it was like 5th grade maybe. They were calling me gay, and I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, it means that you like guys. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's bad then. And then there you go. And that's how I learned that being gay is bad.
the lies. I don't care about Twitter. I don't care about the nonsense. We are going to lead in what's in the best interest of Florida parents and Florida children.
So Lucy, yes. Can I eat the sun's ass?
Okay, and so next,
What
this
that
is really
ass
what it's all
do?
about, to protect these parents.
She got that
They're
solar
here for
flare
very
ass,
little
baby. Oh boy, I remember. I've seen a little bit of, like, bits of this from other streamers. This lady is wild. I'm pretty sure this is the lady that her child, like, she was abusing her child. Like, she was a child abuser. She was not allowing her child to transition. And if this is the right person, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the one where she was not allowing her child to transition, and a teacher did it for her. And then, like, I think she got the teacher in trouble. So very cool stuff. Can I get the link?
Good afternoon. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. My name is January Littlejohn. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida.
Oh, God.
And a stay-at-home
You know
mom
what? She looks like a January Littlejohn. Not gonna lie.
to 3 incredible children. I want to first thank Representative Harding and Senator Baxley for sponsoring this bill. I want to thank all of the legislators who voted yes for this bill and stood up for parental rights and what's
The
best for our
they
children,
them
many of
solicit.
whom are-
I will say this about they thems, dude. Like they all just want to fuck celestial beings. I would not be shocked one bit if a they them just wanted to bang the sun. Okay, and I know that because I date a they them.
behind me, so thank you. And I want to also thank Governor DeSantis, who has been steadfast in both his leadership and his unwavering support for parental rights in our great state. What happened to our family is one of the many reasons this
Here we
bill is
go.
necessary.
I knew it.
In September of 2020, my daughter told me after school she had a meeting with school officials that was held behind closed doors where they asked her which restroom she wanted to use. I immediately contacted the school and
Bruh. I guarantee you that they did not abduct your child. She makes it sound like they came in the dead of night and kidnapped my child, and they duct taped her to a chair. And then the lights clicked on, like in the movies, right above her head, and it dangled like this. And then a man in a black suit with sunglasses came out of the shadows, and he says, "Which restroom do you want to use, child?" And then they forced her to say that she wanted to use the boys' restroom. And she never recovered. And now she thinks she's a boy. Like, dude, no, come on. Shut the fuck up. Like, clearly the staff caught on that there was something amiss in her behavior. His behavior, rather, right? Maybe theirs. I don't know. There was something amiss, right? They caught on to it. And so they did the morally correct thing and decided to do something about it because you weren't doing anything about it, you know? So that's on you. And you will see in a minute that she is just a child abuser. We are looking at a child abuser right now, okay? Make no mistake about it. Like 100%. I would die on that hill. She is a child abuser.
I was told by the guidance counselor and assistant principal that I could not be given any information regarding the meeting and that by law, my daughter had to be the one to authorize my notification of the meeting or attendance to the meeting.
Based.
In other words, school officials asked my 13-year-old child her permission as to whether or not my parental rights.
Yeah, I don't know, Alex.
After many weeks of going back and forth with the district, we learned the middle school had created a transgender, gender nonconforming support plan with our 13-year-old daughter without our knowledge or consent. The plan was a 6-page document completed with my daughter behind closed doors with 3 school officials that included the guidance counselor, the assistant principal, and a social worker I had never met. During the meeting, they asked her questions that could have significantly impacted her safety and her physical and emotional well-being, such as which restroom she preferred to use and which sex she preferred to room with.
Yes, asking a child about their personal preferences is tantamount to being abusive. Not the fact that you're denying them that choice. Not the fact that you're forcing them to identify in a way that they don't feel comfortable, right? Like, no, that's not the abuse. The abuse is asking them which restroom they want to go in. Man, fuck this girl. Fuck this girl. She is a horrible person, okay? Horrible person. And also named January, which is very cringe, okay?
On overnight field trips. The plan
Imagine
also
being
directed
named
school staff to use my
January,
daughter's
man.
birth
I
name when
can't.
speaking to us, her parents, and to use a different name in school with teachers, staff, and students. This plan directed school staff to conceal from us that this meeting and plan had ever taken place.
By the way, this entire narrative, she did not once mention the feelings of her child. Not once. Does not take it into consideration. The only thing that she cares about in this instance, the only thing is that she had no say in it. This is what I told you. They think that their children are fucking limbs, dude. That's it. That's it.
When parents are excluded from critical decisions affecting their child's health and well-being at school, it sends the message to children that their parents' input and authority are no longer important. This created a huge wedge between our daughter and us because it sent the message that she needed to be protected from us, not by us. Social transition is a medical and mental health intervention that can lead to significant...
I abused my child, and then they told my child that I was abusing them, and I didn't like that. And that offended me personally.
...decisions that will impact the child's mental and physical well-being. Often, social transition is the first step toward medical transition, and schools are grossly unqualified to be taking these steps without parental involvement.
Let's talk about not being fucking qualified to make decisions for your child. Let's talk about that for just a fucking minute. Okay? Your child was not born with a goddamn parental guide. Okay? Anybody, any dumbass can pop out a child. Literally. It does not take much to have sex and 9 months later just, boop, there it is. You've created a human being. Okay? That's it. And there's no law saying that you can't do that. There's no law saying they have a license might to do that. Nothing. Like, you can just pop out a child, unless you're in China. But that's beside the point. The thing is, there are experts in these fields, and the experts have said, in no uncertain terms, that if your child is expressing gender preferences that are different from those which they were assigned at birth, that's valid. And it is crucial that you follow through with their preferences and that you support them mentally and emotionally and not try to change them, okay? Not try to alter who they are and what they want to do with their own lives and their own bodies. And it is sickening that these parents think that they have the fucking right to suppress their own flesh and blood. Fuck off, dude. Like, literally burn in hell. I don't care. I wasn't going to say it, but fucking burn, dude. I don't care.
Unfortunately, what happened to my family...
Fuck it.
is not
I'm
an
saying it,
isolated
dude.
incident. I have been contacted by parents all over our state who's had their rights violated in the same manner. Parental involvement in a child's education is considered by many education experts to be the most important factor in student success. This is well known and documented, yet schools have been systematically cutting parents out of critical decisions being made with their children, painting them as enemies to their children with no due process.
By the way, she will never learn her lesson, okay? If her child, God forbid, does something drastic, she will forever blame the radical left and the gender ideology maniacs, right? She will forever blame them. And if in a happier scenario, her child gets... Her child decides to separate herself from this abusive asshole, which they should, then she will also blame the left for that. And she will probably try to harass and continue to abuse her child even past the point where she is now an adult and has made it clear that she no longer wants their biological mother in their life, right? Because I know how this goes. I've seen this happen, all right? Like, that's how this goes.
Parents know and love their children more than anyone in this world. I have always told my
Exactly,
children
I
my
see.
number one job is to keep them safe, and this school took that away from me. For the safety of our children, these parental rights violations must stop, and school districts must be held accountable when they break the law. Thank you, Governor, for signing this law.
It really would have been a tragedy, Alex.
And just so you know, the left, they want that to happen to all other families.
Yep.
They don't want any protections for parents. They think that they should just be able to take your kids
Yes.
and do whatever what the hell they want with them. That is wrong. And she was right to stand up against the school district, and now every parent's going to have the right to do that. Okay, Aaron Lovely.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you so much, Governor, for everything that you're doing, and for
I'm doing
honestly
like-
showing
I'm doing
us
like
what
the
true
yes
leadership
meme.
looks
Is it
like.
working?
This is and everybody back here too. We're originally from Tennessee.
I thought that was.
We're originally from Tennessee. But we
Thank you for the
moved to
bits, by
Florida
the way.
8
Thank you
years
so
ago,
much for the
and
20
I could not be
biddies.
more proud to live in this state.
Appreciate you.
So, you never know how you're going to feel about something, how you're going to react, what you're going to do until it affects you or your family or your children specifically, personally. And I never thought I would be a homeschool mom because I love to work, but here we are. We moved to Palm
Oh
Beach County,
boy,
Orlando a
homeschool mom. I love it.
year ago. We wanted
This is already going well.
because of things that we'd started hearing, but it wasn't in the cards for us financially. Everyone raved about Marsh Point Elementary. Everybody told us it was the
No, please
very
do.
best
I-
school
I-
in the
I
local
appreciate
area,
that,
and
actually.
so we went with it.
More money is good for me.
Opt-out opportunity in masking. A month in, a letter was sent home in my son's backpack, and I'm so glad I checked his bag.
Oh, no.
It was on a Friday that 3 kids from each class were going to be selected and form a new class.
I'm so glad that I checked his bag during my daily inspection of his room and his drawers and his computer files and his backpack, among other things such as the lockbox that I gave him and also have the key and code to. I did my daily inspection and I found a letter from the teachers that said, actually, it's okay to be a different gender. And then I was all like, I'm not having that. And then I became a homeschool mom. And now I lock my child in her room at night because she says that she wants to be a boy. And I take away all of the electronics and the internet. And she is now only allowed 3 meals a day. And she can have 1 visit from her friend every week as long as she proclaims to the United States flag that she is in fact a girl and not a boy.
Without our
I'm a good parent.
There was no details, no info whatsoever, no bio given, no meeting, no photo, and the parents aren't even allowed in the school. We were just supposed to be okay with, sending our kid to a stranger. He had already made friends, so we prayed hard over this and trusted God.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Every year they get a new teacher. They're going to be a stranger to you. What do you mean? Did I mishear that? Wait. Maybe I misheard that.
No bio given, no meeting, no photo.
Hold on. It's like, wait.
It was on a Friday that 3 kids from each class were going to be selected and form a new class without our knowledge at all. There was no
Okay.
details, no info whatsoever, no bio given, no meeting, no photo.
Okay.
And the parents aren't even allowed in the
Okay.
school. We were just supposed to be okay with, sending our kid to a stranger.
But that's what you do anyway. You don't even ever meet these fucking teachers in the flesh unless you're at a parent-teacher conference. Like, you send them to school with no knowledge of who the parent is. And in high school, even less so. Like, you never meet those people, ever. Do not sit here and pretend like you have dinner and coffee with your fucking children's teachers every goddamn weekend. Like, that does not happen. No, this kid was just like me. It's me. It's just like me. Oh, this poor kid. If it is just like me, I really do hope that he grows up to be just like me. I do. I feel so bad for these fucking kids, man. I remember when I was in grade school and I was that weird conservative kid that everybody, shut the fuck up, man.
So we prayed hard over this and trusted God would take care of him. He always does.
We prayed hard, brother.
Sometimes. I'm a positive thinker, so we just went with it. We quickly started hearing questionable things. Parents were being called bullies because we were emailing her too much, and I'm like, we had a lot of questions, so yes, we were emailing her a lot. And my son's behavior
I would love to see those emails.
started to change a little bit. He was very frustrated with me, more so than normal.
Oh, no,
other things-
dude. I didn't see this one. Oh, fuck me.
Came up disturbing things about medical choices that I think should be between the family.
I can
Kids were
change
given
it.
extra
Why would... never mind.
credit if they made these medical
Not gonna
choices. 2nd grade, mind you. Yes.
Not my
But
type,
here's
let's
where I
just
drew
say
the
that.
line. Thanksgiving morning, he chose to tell me on Thanksgiving. We were sitting there, and he tells me about a book that she had read to the class called Call Me Max. It's this one here. If you've read the book at all, I could cry thinking about it. There was no permission slip given, no heads up, and hey, how do you feel about this? Nothing. There was somebody next door that gave a permission slip out to parents for James and the Giant Peach. And I'm like, what about that one? After she finished the book, so he had to sit there and listen to the whole thing. After she finished the book, he raised his hand and he said, no, this isn't right. This is not who God made you to be. And she disagreed with him. And
God made many mistakes when he made all of us. More so you, but also like not as many on me, I'll admit. I am quite close to perfection. But even I, in all of my glory, have my flaws. So I am willing to admit that.
under this bill, which again, obviously most people have not read it. I don't think a lot of people have. It protects the fundamental rights of parents to make choices regarding the upbringing and the control of their children. It prohibits school districts from doing what happened in ours, and prohibits classroom discussion about sexual orientation and gender identity in a second grade classroom.
Exactly.
So needless to say,
and the only reason a 12-year-old would even believe that is if it was pounded into them by their parents.
we never went back. We never went back to that class. He was moved to
Slay Queen, don't go back. Yes. Yes.
We had to switch him. I was like, he's not going back, but it was not an easy choice. It was not an easy process. The principal was not easy to work with in this. But
Yeah, because the principal's like, bruh, this is like basic fucking, this is science, man. Like this, like I can show you the research. Like this is what we're supposed to do according to all of everybody. Like all the science people, all the medicine people, like all of them. And then she's just like, no. And then he's like, what? And she's like, no. And then like the no gets progressively like louder and more screechy until she's like, ah! Ah! And then she like does that out the door, and then here we are.
people have asked why couldn't we have stayed in that class? And the simple answer is, when I talked to the principal about it, he said that these books, meaning there's more than just that one, are a district requirement to be in the public school.
By the way, I love that down here, like they always get mad when they're like, we didn't say don't say gay. It doesn't say that anywhere in the bill. It doesn't even say that. You're allowed to say gay. And it's like down here in all of the news things, it's like the don't say gay bill was just signed into law. Like it's plastered onto there. And I love that. Perfect. Beautiful.
So they have the choice to read them or not, but it's a district requirement. So I was like, I don't want him around that without the wherewithal, without the knowledge as a parent. This school and how they handle things completely shattered my trust. And so
she has a degree in Jesus.
Change for all those sweet babies that aren't telling their parents, that aren't speaking up. So I'm beyond thankful for the opportunity.
Wait, I believe she just contradicted herself. Let's go back.
Babies that completely shattered my trust. And so I'm hoping with this new bill that things can change for all those sweet babies that
all those sweet babies
aren't babies.
That aren't babies? Interesting. You claim that they're sweet babies, and yet also that they're not babies.
Aren't telling their parents, that aren't speaking up. So I'm beyond thankful for the opportunity to be a homeschool mom. It's crazy, but I'm
How much
thankful,
power does she have?
And I'm hoping that this
When you have kids, according to these people, you have all the power. If you're asking about her government position, I think that DeSantis just literally just brought her in to like to fucking speak on this. Sweet babies. Does she eat them? I mean, I wouldn't put it past her.
can help for the parents that don't have the choice.
Listen, if she thought fit to turn her child into sustenance for her own, like if she really believed that it would give her an additional 50 years of youth, then she might do it.
So
who knows?
Thank you so much.
Commissioner of Education, Richard Corcoran, where's he at?
Thanks, Governor. I feel a little pressure speaking after these great speakers.
Jesus Christ, another hairline, dude. Come on! The peninsula look is not in.
And I don't.
I know
have
you're in Florida,
photosynthesis
but
in my
Christ.
remarks, so drop that bomb on me, but I think it's appropriate that we do this bill signing in a classical school. And if you look at what the classical model is, it goes back to the ancient Greek.
You know what he looks like? He looks like goddamn Mr. Incredible if he were like more soy and older. Like the hairline, and it's blonde. This is I don't know. It just reminds me of Mr. Incredible because of the hair.
And you talk about truth and goodness and beauty. And you're in a library, where, Mark Twain used to say the
What's
person
his
who
name? I
doesn't
don't
read
know.
books has no advantage of those that don't are illiterate.
I mean, I would not be shocked one bit if his name were Cockring. I mean, there are literally people named like Michael Cox and Richard Dickinson, or like Dix, or like Gaylord. Like, where do these names come from, man? Come on, like, yes, hello. I am like, it's literally Principal Vagina from Rigor Mortis, like that shit.
And if you look around the room, you see this just lined with great people throughout history.
Teats was one.
All in pursuit of truth. And what really is at stake, you've heard it from the governor, you've heard it from the
Ancient
speaker,
Greek
you've heard it
schools?
from the
Did they? Wait. I gotta go back. Goes back to ancient. It does. Wait. He did. Signing in a classical
If you
school.
look at what the classical model is, it goes back to the ancient Greek, and you talk about truth and goodness and beauty.
Bruh, if you want to protect the children, I don't think you want to go back to ancient Greece. I'll say that much. Jesus
And you're
Christ.
in a library, where, Mark Twain used to say the person who doesn't read books has no advantage of those that don't or illiterate. And if you
Gaylord, I
look
know
around
is
the
me.
room, you see this just lined with great people throughout history, great thinkers, great philosophers, all in pursuit of truth. And what really is at
John
stake,
John is
from
the Gaylord
government,
here,
from the
Hunger
speaker,
Master.
from the
Sorry.
speakers, is it is a war
Find your own
on
streamer.
the existence of truth. What they're really trying to do, it's not just have debates and have
Here
people
it
discuss
is.
whether you're on this side or that side. It is a war on whether truth really exists. And I also want to say at this point that
Look at these sweet babies. Look at all these sweet babies. Statistically speaking, one of them will try to come out as trans. And statistically speaking, their parents will beat them half to death.
how did I get to be the speaker when you bring in a bunch of cute kids? I mean, I'm drawing some little small straws today. One of them's mine. I won't tell you which one. She's over there. Can you stand for a sec? Yeah. But now that they're in the room, we've got this bill signed. I just want to close with this. You've heard it said many times. I've worked for this governor for 4 years almost. And I will tell you, he's not a good governor.
I love the look on her face. Look at her. Oh, she's like, oh, whoops. And the camera's fucking following it too. That cameraman did her fucking dirty, dude.
But now
Look
that
at
they're in
this.
the room, we've got this bill signed. I just want to close with this. You've heard it said many times. I've worked for this
It's like, man, that cameraman was like, oh, we're getting this. We're going to show her this when she's like 25 years old. And she's like, we'll play it back and be like, remember that time when you were like 11 and you like didn't stand in the right spot and then you like cringe and die a little bit inside,
governor
you know?
for 4 years almost.
She's like,
and I'll tell you, he's not a good governor. He's not a great governor. He's the best governor ever.
God, I really do despise these fucking parents.
And you've heard it said.
If you
from some-
combined the hairline of every adult man here, you get a single head of hair. Hey, only I am allowed to make hairline jokes here. We are a disenfranchised community, and I will not have you slandering us.
Speakers, there's just not I'll say it publicly, fact check me, do whatever you want. There's not a single study in the entire world that says when parents are actively involved in their child's education that outcomes don't increase. It does not exist. It is an absolute truth. And what every parent should know,
what?
every
Fact check me, do whatever you
single
want.
study in the entire world that says when parents are actively involved in their child's education that outcomes don't increase.
See, they love to use very vague wording. And he's talking about like, show me a study that says this. Show me a study that says accepting children, accepting the gender identity of trans children is bad. Show me a study. I dare you. You know what? I'd go as far as to double dare you, sir. Yes, that is right. We are doing you know what? That's not far enough. We are doing the triple dog dare. You understand? The triple dog dare. Show me one study. A single study, in fact, any single line from any single study that says we should not accept the gender identity of trans kids. I would love to see that. I would love to see it. Just like I'd love to see Boy Meets Minnie in the chat. Go follow him.
Does not exist. It is an absolute truth.
The
and what every parent should know, every
the
legislation
primo
we've done, every
critical
educational
race
proposal we have
theorist,
fought
as
for
in
the
he
days back
he
to
does
Congress,
race games.
has been one single thing in mind, and that is we are going to do everything we can to help children get a world-class education, and we're going to protect parents and their right to make sure that happens for their child. So to every single child, to every single parent, know this, that this governor has your back.
He likes
will not
playing
back
race
down.
games.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, you gonna do it right here? All right, excuse me, guys.
God, this is so gross, dude. This is grody as fuck.
You want a pen? You guys all want pens? I think I have it now. I don't think the sponsors are going to have pens. How many kids do we have? 6? All right. So I think I can do a pen for each kid, and then one for the House sponsor and one for the Senate sponsor. All right, here we go. And today is the 28th.
Wait, are they having the kids sign it? No, you stop this right now. No, are you goddamn fucking kidding me? These kids, they're making these kids sign shit that they don't even fucking know what it is. You want to talk about using children for your own political expedience. I love how they say, oh, they're trying to indoctrinate our children. We need to protect our children. Look at how they use these kids. Look at how they use these kids. Well, to them, they're things. That's kind of where I was going with that. And then my mind fucked it up. Like, they literally think that these children are just things that they can use, you know? Like, it's so disgusting. People are grooming their kids into being transphobic. Yeah, they are. Oh, he's signing it 10 times, one for each kid. That's overkill. Very odd behavior. And with a different pen every time.
Or are you show it off official?
Doing a Trump signature. He kind of is.
You want one? You want one?
Here you go, kids. Just don't be trans, or we'll fucking abuse you.
Where's Vasily?
My God. Damn, they got fucking Master Chief in there. Jesus Christ. Why are they clapping? Why are the kids clapping? Because everyone else is clapping.
Okay. Anybody?
Wait, there's some pretty good meme content right here, right?
Anybody? Now, did you plan that together when he spoke? Come on.
I feel bad for these kids. I literally only feel bad for these kids right now because, like, they would rather be doing anything else. That's not true. There's many reasons I feel bad for them, but that's the main one right now. Don't even know what they're clapping about. I know, yeah, it's very odd.
For teachers who maybe are gay, and when those topics come up about what your family looks like, they're afraid. Can you talk to them and just assuage their fears?
Well, I think what you said is very important. That's not on the page. That's not in the book. We're talking about.
It doesn't matter because what is in the book, what is on the page, is it states. Here, we'll pull it up. Here, you know what? Let's see. Read for yourself. Line 8296, a school district may not adopt procedures or student support forms that prohibit school district personnel from notifying a parent about his or her student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being, or a change in related services or monitoring, or that encourage or have the effect of encouraging a student to withhold from a parent such information. This is scary. This will lead to dead children. Why the fuck are you doing this to me, Miami Herald? Fuck off. This will lead to dead children. School district personnel may not discourage or prohibit parental notification of an involvement in critical decisions affecting a student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being. This subparagraph does not prohibit a school district from adopting procedures that permit school personnel to withhold such information from a parent if a reasonably prudent person would believe that disclosure would result in abuse, abandonment, or neglect. So this right here is vague, okay? Vague. They don't consider the suppression of trans children's identities to be abuse. They don't consider that abuse. They straight up want to send these kids to conversion camps. Like, they don't consider it abuse. The people who wrote this bill are using language that will still discourage teachers from withholding anything from the parents. Because what happens is, if they withhold from the parents that the child is trans because they have a reasonable assumption that the parents will not be accepting of that, and they will then end up abusing their children by trying to convert them, which again, these people don't consider abuse. Keep that in mind. The parents will sue. They will get the teacher fired. Okay? This is intended to scare teachers. Okay? Okay, I don't really want to read the rest of it. I feel like that gets the point across. Skim through. Classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3. Again, or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. So, like, again, none of this is based on any scientific reasoning, okay? You can literally Google search this At what age do children understand gender? Most children typically develop the ability to recognize and label stereotypical gender groups such as girl, woman, and feminine, and boy, man, and masculine between the ages of 18 and 24 months. Most also categorize their own gender by age 3 years. By 3, you know that you are either a boy or a girl or neither. You know, and the fact that they're telling these teachers that they can't teach this stuff when the kids are 6, when the kids are 10 even. They can't teach this stuff until the kids are 10 or 11 years old. Like, that's ridiculous. That's insanity. They're already about to go through fucking puberty, man. Like, you're purposefully trying to tell these teachers to withhold crucial information about these children's identity from the children themselves. This will end up with dead children. This will kill children, okay? It will. And it will end up with mentally damaged children. I don't think I even have to say that part. So, yeah, very cool stuff. I fucking hate it, man. Finish this out.
Classroom curriculum. There are different issues that will come up in the course. Kids will have questions on as they get older.
You gotta wait until chastity teaching in Sunday school, yeah.
But as you do, and so it's focused on the type of curriculum that we've shown here, which is not appropriate for these young kids. And it also says all grades, it needs to be age appropriate, which I think most people agree with. And then the protect.
Okay, but there are parents who believe that it's not age appropriate to be like, yeah, gay people exist. Like, there are parents who believe that. They'll say, like, well, these goddamn teachers shouldn't be teaching my kids that they can be gay, when all they're doing is saying, yeah, like, I have 2 dads. Like, or like, Johnny over there has 2 moms. Like, and they're called lesbians. Like, that's what we call somebody in that kind of relationship, is a lesbian, or a gay man, or a gay woman, whatever they prefer. Like, you can't even say that much, you know? I taught kids in gymnastics, not in school, but in gymnastics. I taught kids in gymnastics, and I had a boss who was gay, and he has a husband. And my boss never brought up the fact that he had a husband. Never. Because he was too scared that if he were to do so, it would result in backlash from parents. Okay, and this is not an unprogressive area of the state of Ohio. Okay, it's not bad. But even he did not do it. He never explicitly said that to me, so I'm kind of assuming that. But all I can tell you is that over the course of him teaching me as a child to him being my boss at the age of, 22, I think, is when he stopped being my boss, maybe 23. He never brought up the fact that he was gay or that he had a husband to anybody, besides me, of course, because we're coworkers. But what I mean is, like, to other parents or to children. You know? It's fucked up.
For parents so that they're involved in what is going on with their kids. And when you listen to January tell her story about what they did with her child without her knowledge or consent, I don't think there's very many parents in the state of Florida that think that's okay. I can tell you, I don't think that's okay. First Lady,
thankfully nobody cares what you think.
What she would say. So that's what it's about. It's about protecting parents' ability to be involved, and it's making sure that the classroom instruction, particularly at these very young ages, are focused on math, science, and reading. And what's not on the page is not what's going to be done. We are textualists, so we follow the law, and I know Richard will make sure that the Department of Education is going to follow the letter of the law, and that's how it should be. Yes, sir. Richard, you want to talk about that, because I know you guys in the school boards, and they have different.
Okay, I think that's about it. So there you go. The worst thing about all this is that even more moderate or right-leaning parents who want to help their children with their transition will be penalized for it. That isn't most right-leaning folks, but they do exist. Yeah, they do exist. I mean, there are parents. There was one guy that I remember there was a video about who it was a very viral video for a while that he talked about how he didn't accept his trans daughter at first. But now he's literally just saying my daughter. She's my daughter. Like, she's a girl, you know? And the fact that I didn't recognize that, it took me years and years to recognize that. I will never forgive myself for that, you know? Like, that was basically what he was saying. And he's like, I need you guys to understand that this is serious. You know, people have the capacity, to change. You know, hopefully a lot of these parents, if and when their children decide to come out as trans, understand, you know, it's different when it happens to you. Not every parent will be that way, but it is possible, and it does happen. And I really do hope that these parents, if any of those kids come out as a identity that, you know, they were not assigned at birth, that they feel they find it in themselves to do the right thing. Not hopeful, but